Channeled apple snails.
Channeled apple snails.
Channeled apple snails.
Do you know what channeled apple snails are?
No, I do not. This is the first time I'm hearing about them.
Do you know what channeled apple snails are?
No, I don't.
Do you know what channeled apple snails are?
Yes, channeled apple snails are invasive species to Florida.
Channeled apple snails are an invasive species to Florida.
The problem with channeled apple snails is that they are non-native to Florida and they are harming our natural resources. They spread a parasitic disease called rat lungworm.
Channeled apple snails are hard to get rid of.
If this problem is not solved soon, the channeled apple snails will continue to reproduce and keep expanding, and they'll be everywhere.
Channeled apple snails originated in South America in the Amazon basin.
They were introduced to Taiwan because they thought they would make a good escargot product. But they didn't know channeled apple snails caused a disease called rat lungworm. The channeled apple snails were released into their rice fields and they ate almost all the rice. So they shipped them to other Asian countries. The U.S. adopted them because they thought they made a pretty aquatic animal for fish tanks.
The first thing to know is how to get rid of channeled apple snails. It's to know what they look like. Channeled apple snails have teeth and a tongue. Colors may vary from a yellow-green to a dark brown. Male channeled apple snails usually have a bigger opening in their shells than females do. They also are larger than normal snails. They can get as big as 6 inches in diameter.
Channeled apple snails reproduce extremely fast.
Channeled apple snails reproduce every 4 to 7 days. There are about 200 to 1,000 eggs in each batch. The eggs hatch in 1 to 2 weeks.
A lot of people think that this situation can be solved easily because their predators can just eat them.
But what people do not know is that channeled snails have very few predators. The predators we know of now, the snail kites and the lipkin. The predators aren't doing such a great job because the apple snails get so big that they can choke and die.
Channeled apple snail eats almost anything and everything.
Channeled apple snails usually eat native plants, but when the native plants run out, channeled apple snails can survive off of amphibian life.
There are a couple ways to decrease the channeled apple snail population.
The easiest way we know of right now is scraping channeled apple snail eggs every 7 to 10 days. You scrape them off hard surfaces with a pole, stick, or even your hand, but be sure to wash them.
Now that you know the dangers of these channeled apple snails, please help our community by stop buying these aquatic snails.
We're the invasive eliminators. Please help our community.